contested 3 from Jamal Murray. You could go either way. I don't want to be critical for the sake of being critical. Some coaches and players believe.
Why not? You've done it all playoffs.
No, I'm critical when critical is the right answer. I'm not critical just to be critical, which is why in this case I'm going to look to my left and ask the Hall of Famer, are you in favor of an in-rhythm possession like what they had, or would you have called the timeout and tried to call play to get a better look from 3?
When Bruce Brown got that rebound, I would have called timeout because he fumbled it. They looking at the bench. They like, what are we going to do? They like, go, go, go. I would have called timeout because I need a set play. I need to get a set shot, a good shot, even though that the Miami Heat probably would have fouled them instead of letting them take a 3,
right,
let them go to the free throw line for 2 free throws. But I would have had set up a play because you got great free throw shooters out there in Jokic and in Murray that I would have set up a play and got me a good shot or a better shot than that.
Right.
Even though
he did have a clean look. He did.
No, he could have got a better one.
But he had to watch it. I mean, for Jamal Murray, this is a good look.
No, that's not a good look. That's
for
not
Jamal
a good
Murray,
look.
that's a good look. Come on.
Bam is in his face. That is not a good look.
I'm sorry. That to me, where I come from, that's a decent look.
Okay, Jimmy Butler.
Got separation.
I'm sorry, Jim. No, that's not separation. I'll show you what separation. That's not separation.
I thought, listen, it's one of those deals where
timeout.
We question not using the timeout because Murray obviously didn't make the shot. Mm-hmm. And then the immediate thing we do as well, had they called the timeout, they would have gotten a better shot.
Before you talk, Rick.
Go ahead.
Didn't we see this movie before against the Boston Celtics?
Absolutely.
Yes, we did.
Go ahead.
Yes,
we did. And he was very critical of Joe Mazzulla. Anyway.
Thank you.
For me, it's one of those in the moment games. You can speak to this. When you're in the moment, your coach kind of knows, okay, we got them kind of in transition defense. Let's take advantage of that. If this deep, we know Miami in the half-court defense, they're stout. So could you get a good shot, a better shot? Yes. What I do not like about these situations is they typically pan out in someone taking a long-distance contested three-point shot when you don't call it. Set up a play to execute. You have a one-on-one guy, which is Jamal Murray. He's your best one-on-one player. So you put the ball in his hands and try to get him to make plays. Naturally, if you were to call a timeout, you're probably going to get the ball into your best player hands, which is Jokic, which he can make the play for himself or someone else.
But you want, if you're down 3 here. So to me, you want Murray shooting it over Jokic because you need a 3. If I'm down 1 or 2, a whole different ball game. I try to go inside to Jokic and let him do what he does. So I've got no problem with the fact that their best outside shooter took the final shot. He just missed it.
Right. You would have had a problem if Tatum would have took that outside shot.
No, because Tatum's their best shooter.
Even though timeout. Take a timeout. 16 seconds left.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Plenty
I'm with
of
you
time.
on that.
Take a timeout. Set up a good play. You might get a rebound.
Okay, if you shoot early enough.
You shoot early enough, kick it back out for even better three-point shot.
I tell you my biggest beef on the play, and it's on Miami. I don't understand why you don't foul there.
Yeah.
I've always been a proponent of if you're up 3 and they've got the ball, foul.
I'm going to tell you this. They don't practice in practice. They don't practice fouling. So in that instance, what if a guy you foul and he just in the act of shooting and the ref
you gotta
calls?
Be smart about it.
Well, I mean, you don't want to put the onus is in the ref hands either.
That's
because
true.
they can make mistakes too. So if you're not used to doing that, and you just can't do it on the run.
Why wouldn't you practice that? I don't get that.
Why wouldn't you? Because that's not in the game plan. Really.
Yeah, but we see it every week in the NBA.
But no, you know what we see every week in the NBA?
What's that?
Stupid fouls like by KCP. For 6
Al
points.
Horford.
Al Horford.
Yeah.
3-point shots. That's what you need to practice on. Stop fouling the 3-point shooter and giving them free shots.
Well, listen, I'm okay in this instance not calling the timeout. I don't understand why Miami didn't foul, and here's the way it plays out. It doesn't matter because the Miami Heat have stolen game 2 in Denver. Denver's first loss in the playoffs in their own building.
You know what?
And you can hear it. You can hear it.
And I'm going
hear those
to.
Denver fans crying.
I'm going to agree. Oh, they crying. They definitely crying. They definitely crying. Oh, they was crying the whole game.
Whole game they were crying.
The whole game. Jokic was crying too.
It was so bad they gave Terrell Davis a migraine sitting courtside.
Right. Did you see him? Did you see him when he was high-fiving? He was like this.
I think we do even a video that I think we do. The legendary running back Super Bowl champion for the Denver Broncos. I'm being told we don't have it now. An hour ago I was told we did have it. We don't have it. He was miserable.
Yes, he was. Let me say this. In the first quarter, the Heat came out and made a purpose to get Strus open.
Yes.
They set more pick and rolls than they ever done in this whole postseason. They got into the lane with the pocket passes. They got Strus open with double down screens. They got him open with a lot of slip screens. And Denver Nuggets made a bunch of mistakes on defense, not switching and not getting out to him and giving him wide open jump shots. And,
is that coaching? Is that just Spoelstra saying I see something in their defense?
It's both sides.
Okay.
It's your Denver Nuggets not paying attention to details, and then it's Spoelstra understanding what he needs to do to get his shooter in his shot.
Let's stop you right there because Mike Malone spoke after the game. He was critical of his team after game 1, and most of us said, that's just coach speak. You won game 1 somewhat handily. The coach is just looking for something. When he said after game 1, we didn't play very well, Mike Malone went further than that after a tough game 2 loss. Here's coach after the game.
This is not the preseason. This is not the regular season. It's not round. This is the NBA Finals. Mm-hmm. And that, to me, is really, really perplexing, disappointing. And I asked the team, I asked our players, you guys tell me why we lost. And they knew the answer. Miami came in here and outworked us. Mm-hmm. And we were, by far, our least disciplined game of these 16 or 17 playoff games, whatever it is now. So many breakdowns.
Yeah, which is amazing considering, here's your first crack ever in the finals. Everyone's starting to discover who you are, right? Despite all your bitching and moaning and complaining about nobody talks about us. We're not the national narrative. We've got the world's best player, blah, 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 blah. You threw up a donut, especially in that fourth quarter, in your own building. And for a coach to come out afterwards, and to me, that's not coach speak. That's the guy who's ticked off. Because here we are 3 wins away from the franchise's first ever NBA title. And it's one thing if the other team is better than you. I think you can look in the mirror and say, I lost to a better team. But when you know in your heart you're better than them and they beat you because they, quote unquote, wanted it more, that's tough.
Well, he came out. And what's really he's mad about is he tried to tell him game 1, right after game 1. This is only game 1. We have not done nothing.
Right.
Not one thing. We got to come out here and do it 3 more games. He tried to tell him. And he tried to tell him on Saturday. He tried to tell him on Sunday. And he tried to tell him again on Sunday before the game. We got to come out and we got to be prepared for their force, their physicality, and their aggressiveness. In the first quarter, they did not come out and do it.
Not right out of the gate. They went on a run.
No. In the first quarter. But see, you giving Miami the momentum. You giving them hope. You making them understand. And this is what they doing to the referees. This is how we going to play all game long. And we going to be physical. We going to bump you. And it took a toll on the Denver Nuggets because they started crying to the referees and looking at the referees to bail them out. And the referees like, no, y'all didn't come in and play. And that's what it was. They didn't come and play. And when Denver Nuggets start griping at the referees and crying to the referees, they get out their game, they get out their character, and that's what happened last night.
Well, a couple things to this game. The first 5 minutes was all Miami. And I wrote this down because I don't think this has ever happened in the history of basketball where a team went on a 40-14 run. That's what Denver did. They were down 21-10 with just under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. All right. And with 7 minutes into the second quarter, they were up by 15, 50-35. That is a 40 to 14 point run.
Yikes.
And they lost.
Yep.
That's never happened
You know why?
before.
Because the Miami Heat was still in the game.
Yes, they were.
Because they was up 10 before they went on the 14.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the other part of this game that's annoying to some people. When you see average role players, you'll get off in a big game 2 in the NBA Finals after scoring a combined 6 points in game 1.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what happened. Gabe Vincent. Now, Caleb Martin was sick. So you kind of have to put his game aside because he had the runs
play?
or something.
Did he play?
Not really.
He didn't play?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. And he wasn't feeling good, the whole thing, how that
He
goes.
played 21 minutes.
Yeah, but he's a 40-minute-a-game guy.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
He played his role. No matter what you do, you go out there and you play your role. He played his role very well.
Well, they all played their role. Strudel had 14, even Duncan Robinson, double digits, and now you have 2 days off again.
Yeah.
So I think that benefits the Miami Heat.
No question. At the end of that game, I don't know if anybody saw Jimmy Butler. He was laboring a little bit. I don't know if it's ankle or he was just tired because of altitude. But in the fourth quarter, I saw a little laboring. I saw a little, sluggishness. I saw a little slowness in his game. Even though he still played well, he got it downhill. He made plays to Bam Adebayo. He made plays to his teammates. And you know who came up really, really big in the fourth quarter when they really, really, truly needed him was Duncan Robinson.